So I was pleasantly surprised by the Soundcore Boom 2 because this is a great speaker for summer 2024 because it gives you a lot of sound at a relatively affordable price. But naturally, we have to see how the Soundcore Boom 2 stacks up to both the JBL Xtreme 3 and the Sony XG300, two very popular speakers to take to the beach or pool with you. And obviously, we need a little something to keep us busy while we wait for the JBL Xtreme 4, which is right around the corner.
Regarding pricing, the Soundcore Boom 2 retails for $130, which is insane, especially when you compare it to either the JBL Xtreme 3, which retails for $380, but I do expect it to drop in price dramatically because the Xtreme 4 is literally right around the corner. Or the Sony XG300, which has a retail price of $350, but it likes to routinely go on sale for $200. Nonetheless, if you're going to pick any of these speakers up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, linked down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button and let's get subscribed. So first, there's the design of these speakers. Now, all three of these speakers are about the same size as one another, except the Boom 2 is a little thinner and a little lighter. In general, all three of these speakers are easy enough to take on the go with you, but the Xtreme 3 does have that included shoulder strap, so you can just throw the speaker over your shoulder, and that shoulder strap does have that built-in bottle opener, which is a nice touch that is missing on these other two speakers. Now, durability-wise, all three of these speakers are waterproof, so if you drop any of these speakers in water, or more realistically, if they get rained on, they're going to be perfectly fine. However, when it comes to bumps and scrapes, both the JBL and Sony are more durable because they both have mostly fabric wrapped bodies, whereas the Boom 2 has a mostly plastic body and a metal faceplate on the front, meaning that this speaker is going to collect scratches a lot easier. Overall, the Boom 2 is going to have no problem keeping up with you, but both of JBL's and Sony speakers are more durable and more premium feeling. However, something that the Soundcore Boom 2 does have over these two speakers is that it has a built-in light feature stored in the passive radiators, and this light feature is fairly dynamic and it's fairly vibrant. It's so vibrant that it does a decent job of illuminating the ground around it at night. Now, I know the Sony XG300 also has a built-in light feature, but this light feature isn't as impressive as the light feature found on the Boom 2, so I don't even think that it's worth using. Whereas with the Boom 2's light feature, I do think that this light feature is worth using.
But just keep in mind, if you do decide to use the light feature on either of these two speakers, that is going to take an additional toll on the battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Boom 2 has an advertised battery life of 24 hours, which is very impressive. However, this advertised battery life of 24 hours is with this speaker playing at 50% volume, and with the light feature turned off, and with the bass up feature turned off as well. World use with this speaker playing at 80% volume, and with the light feature turned on, and with the bass up feature turned on, I'm getting about 6 hours of playback time, which is not bad. And then there's the XG300, which has a similar thing going on with its battery. This speaker has an advertised battery life of 25 hours, but that's with the speaker playing at 50% volume, but with the light feature turned off, but with its mega bass feature turned on, which is good. And real-world use with this speaker playing at 80% volume and with the light feature turned off, because personally, I don't think that using the light feature on this speaker is worth it, but with the mega bass feature turned on, this speaker is going to be good for around 11 hours of playback time. And then there's the Xtreme 3, which has an advertised battery life of 15 hours, but real-world use with this speaker playing at 80% volume is going to be good for around 8 hours of playback time. So overall, if battery life is very important to you, then you might want to go with the Sony XG300 here. And when it comes to charging these speakers, they all charge via a USB-C port, which is good. However, the USB-C port on the Xtreme 3 is very different from the USB-C port on these other two speakers. With the Xtreme 3, you can use its USB-C port to charge your own devices, and you can also use it as a wired connection. And personally, I think that this is a very useful feature that many other speakers out there still don't have. However, all three of these speakers do have a USB-A out port so that you can charge your own devices. But I don't think that these USB-A ports are going to be used all that much because most phones these days just come included with a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. So that's why I think the USB-C port on the Xtreme 3 is a hidden gem. But something that is missing on the Soundcore Boom 2 is an audio jack. So you can only use this speaker wirelessly, whereas these other two speakers do have 3.5mm audio jacks. So just keep that in mind depending on your setup. But when it comes to wireless connectivity, all three of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ, and latency is not an issue for any of these speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. But when it comes to audio codecs, both the Boom 2 and Xtreme 3 only have support for SBC, which is fine. But with the Sony XG300, this speaker has support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC.
But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Soundcore Boom 2 has a single front-mid-firing subwoofer, which is flanked by dual front-mid-firing tweeters, and there are dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides, and this is a fairly unique speaker setup. Whereas with both the Xtreme 3 and Sony XG300, they both have dual front-mid-firing woofers, dual front-mid-firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. But now we're just going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. All three of these speakers are playing at 87% volume. The Boom 2 is playing with its signature EQ and bass up turned on, but the Sony has its mega bass feature turned on, and the Xtreme 3 is playing with its stock EQ.
Don't say we can't, oh, just don't say another word. These thoughts you've imagined aren't real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, out from another world. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. Cause we both know one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't bow for our sake, cause this ain't the end. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't bow for our sake, cause this ain't the end. You're so far off, oh, it's like you can't see ahead. These feelings you've caught don't make sense. Your plan's gonna flop. You keep raising doubts without cause. All you feel is dread. My logic is fair. If it's pain, it's ever gonna stop. Cause we both know that one day he's not gonna cry again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. The sun's gonna rise again. So don't bow or I think this ain't the end.
So when it comes to the sound quality of these speakers, I can't help but feel that the Soundcore Boom 2 has the weakest instrument separation here. The highs are well defined and the bass is strong with this one, but the mids on the Boom 2 can be a little weak. Whereas with both the Sony XG300 and JBL Xtreme 3, these two speakers have a better instrument separation in the mids and the bass has more resonance to it. Now with its signature EQ, the Boom 2 sounds fairly balanced, but the XG300 does lean towards a warmer sound signature, and the Xtreme 3 leans towards a brighter sound signature. But with all of these speakers, you can always go into their apps and you can adjust their EQs to your liking. And definitely with the Xtreme 3, I would recommend that you go in and raise the bass a bit. But where the Boom 2 really shines here is max volume. This speaker gets impressively loud for both its size and price, and it actually gets a little louder than these other two speakers. Now, it doesn't sound better than these other two speakers, but it does sound louder, and if you're looking for a speaker to use outdoors most of the time, loudness might be a little more important than quality.
But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with all of these speakers, if you have two of the exact same speakers, you can wirelessly pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. So one speaker is going to be your left channel and your other speaker is going to be your right channel. However, with the Boom 2, I can't help but feel that one speaker is a few milliseconds behind, thus causing a slight echo, whereas echoes are not an issue for the JBL Xtreme 3. But with all of these speakers, you can always pair them up with other speakers that are using the same speaker pairing protocols as them. For Soundcore, it's PartyCast 2.0. For JBL, it's JBL PortaBoost. And for Sony, it's PartyConnect. And you can get up to 100 speakers wirelessly paired to one another and get them to play in sync. But the unique thing here about Sony's PartyConnect is that you can connect this smaller speaker to any of Sony's larger box speakers that are also using PartyConnect, like either the Sony XV900, XV800, XV500, or to the XP700 or to the XP500. So with Sony's PartyConnect, it is a little more accommodating because with a JBL's Xtreme 3 and PartyBoost, you can't wirelessly connect it to any of JBL's larger party box speakers.
But with all that being said, the Soundcore Boom 2 does a really good job of keeping up with both the JBL Xtreme 3 and Sony XG300 while being a lot more affordable. Sure, the Boom 2 doesn't have as good instrument separation as these other two speakers, but it gets very loud, which I feel is more important for an outdoor speaker to constantly take on the go with you. Even though it has a mostly plastic body, it's still very durable and it's easy enough to take on the go with you, and it also has a decent looking light feature. The only thing to look out with on this speaker is going to be its battery life, but if you use it with its light feature turned off, you can always extend it a good amount. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.